Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're talking about the feat healer. All right, Sam, you are not a huge fan of the. I think you just don't like healing.
Healing is bad, so that's why I don't like healing. And healing is bad because there's a lot of it, and it's free, and you don't need like the game is built so that you can have a party that doesn't have healing in it, and the game can still be played on like lethal encounters and stuff, right? The designers deliberately didn't want healing to be mandatory, and for that reason, short rests and the hit dice exist. Long rests give you all your hit points back. It's really easy to regain hit points in Dungeons and Dragons. So that makes healing less good. And I've talked at length about why the majority of healing you should care about is quickly and efficiently getting people from 0 hit points to 1 or more hit points. 1 is enough. And that's why I really struggle with like big heal spells, like just heal. I'm like, do you need that? I don't know. But
a healing spell, though, that's asking a little bit. A feat is asking quite a bit.
You have to spend, you have to really, really want to heal people to give a whole ass feat to it. Now, granted, this version is like, I don't think you could ask for more out of a healing feat. Like, this gives you a lot of healing, technically speaking.
Well, what does it do?
Okay, so healer, when you use a healer, so, oh God, I have to pull healer's kits. Okay, so mechanically, all it does is whenever you use a healer's kit to stabilize a dying creature, it regains a hit point. That matters with the number of uses healing. Normally, healer's kits are just spare the dying. Normally, they destroy, like, automatically put them to 0. This gives you a way that gets them up. That is meaningful. That is useful. And then you can spend an action, use one of the healer's kits to tend wounds, and they get a d6 plus 4 hit points back, plus extra HP equal to that creature's hit dice. So if they're like a level 6 paladin, for example, they would get a d4 plus 10, because d6 plus 4 plus 6, a d6 plus 10 in total. The numbers all add up. It's not particularly big and impactful, and the idea is everyone can get that once per short or long rest. So then if we dive into what healer's kits do, healer's kits just let you, as an action, expend a use to stabilize a creature at 0 hit point without making a medicine check. That's normally all they do, and each kit has 10 uses, which means conceivably you can just carry around 5 of them with you. They weigh 3 pounds each, so it's 15 pounds, and then you just got 40 or 50 uses of basically better cure wounds, but it's once per party member per short rest, and a whole bunch of good berries, basically, which I think is the real meritable stuff here, because that's what you care about, is getting someone off 0. At face value, I have to ask, who wants this, and why do they want it, and what game is healer good in? And because all the words are like, yeah, if you don't have any healing and you find you really need it, this is a way that can irreversibly change the stage of a fight, right? If you are in a group with a rogue fighter and rogue fighter and monk, and for some reason you're at the kind of tier of play where you absolutely need to administer healing, you could pick this up instead of just spending money on healing potions and spend your actions to get people up, and that's fine, but that is the most of what you would care about there. The rest of the bonus healing, you're going to try and take short rests and spend hit dice. You're not very often playing in the super grindy, gritty, we have expended all of our hit dice every single time we're playing. We're going through 12 encounters per long rest. We are always scrounging towards the next long rest with 2 hit points each. That just doesn't happen.
And in that case, you just need a cleric in the party.
Yeah, and if you have a cleric in the party, they're not taking this. They don't need it. They have healing word. You don't. If you have access to healing word, you do not need this feat. I want to make that very clear. If you have access to good berry, you don't need this feat. And to that point, you could always have access to good berry, because you could take the magic initiate feat and split the druid spell list, and then you get 1 access to good berry, which means outside of gold, you just once per long rest get 10 hit points worth of healer functionally. You don't get the fun big better cure wounds. Sorry, but you do get 10 ways to get people off of 0, and also 2 druid cantrips. So that seems better than this, right?
Yeah, by quite a bit.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You have to then makes your healer kits better.
Yeah,
that's what this does. I'm never going to spend a feat on this.
I don't know who would.
The rest of my party be damned.
like it. If you really need this, there's better options. If you don't really need this, or if you like want to play the field medic archetype, if you want to play like the I don't know, the druidic shaman, but you don't want to div levels in druid for some reason as a barbarian, sure. Oh, pardon, I got something caught in my throat.
All right.
But like, I'm not seeing it. I want this feat has words on it that are decent. It's a lot of cure wounds. It heals a lot of hit points. You just don't need to heal that many hit points is the reality of it, I think.
All right. I'm trying to think. All right. So just super grindy. You're just wading through a sea of orcs with swords, and they're all constantly stabbing you.
Yep.
Anything there? You want this?
Is this better than the tough feat in that instance? Right? Is that better than just having 2 extra HP per level? Is that better than the durable feat, which is a feat I don't think anyone should ever take, but it gives you better hit dice basically, which you be using hypothetically as often? I mean, it'll depend. So if you're a frontline character, those feats are just always going to be better because your backline characters aren't going to be leveraging their hit points like this, right? If you're in the really grindy encounters, you really care about keeping the healthy people healthy. And healer is not good at that. Healer's good at keeping everyone healthy because it gives you the once per use on every member of your party. That's how you maximize effectiveness, right? So if you wanted to maximize the hit points of another person, you would care more about them taking feats that make them more durable, or you would care about taking like Magic Initiate for Shield of Faith, Magic Initiate for Sanctuary, Magic Initiate for things to give them better defenses to not take the damage. Like Pro Good and Evil on Magic Initiate. And I'm going to say Magic Initiate a lot because it's just access to any first level spell you want, right?
If you already have Magic Initiate and you spent it on different spells, and you still needed some healing,
and then you're like, I don't know, because then what's your build look like? I guess you're just a full caster with a dream, and if you're a full caster, you definitely have just better spells that are going to do more than this, right? Because like every other class in the game that wants to take feats. You're taking feats that help your build. You're taking Great Weapon Master, you're taking Sentinel, you're taking Sharpshooter, you're taking, like, if you're allowed to take Lucky, everyone's taking Lucky. Like, there are better feats than this by a lot as far as, like contribute to playing a specific play style, playing a specific way. Even, like, Warcaster, which is a feat I'm not, like, super high on, but definitely has merit and definitely goes places. That you take that over Healer every single time because it lets you do your thing better. It empowers you as a character. Healer doesn't make healing better. It doesn't make you as a healer more potent.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what if you're the build you're going for is the ultimate healer?
Like play Life Domain and hit period. Like that's how you do that build. This isn't giving you a way to make your existing healing better. This isn't turning your mass healing word into double healing, right? That's things like the Mode of Life or whatever that gets the spell that I absolutely lambasted that like maximizes your healing effectiveness for a spell slot. That's how you play that build. Healer has no place in there. Like, what are you doing with it there? How is it empowering that?
Does it even marginally improve that?
When do you have actions for that? I just don't see it being the case, right?
No.
Like, if you have the actions for that, you have action ways to make more effective healing. And like, you would rather have a higher con score or a higher whiz score probably on that character anyway. Like, the higher wisdom scales better with all of your other healing effects.
Yeah,
it scales better with your mass healing words, it scales better with your mass cure wounds, it scales better with every other healing spell you're using. And it's good for your spell save DCs and everything else you're doing, your perception checks and everything, right? Like,
no, I was just playing devil's advocate. No, like you said in the beginning, if you have access to healing word, you don't need this.
Yeah. I think maybe if you're like a variant human at first level and you want to play the field medic archetype, like you're a fighter, but you want to be a supportive fighter. This is probably at its best at first through third level. This is really big and impactful in that sphere, right? Because there isn't an ample amount of healing and the game is incredibly lethal. Like things go up and down constantly in the early tiers, right? And in that window, if you're not intending to play a very long game, variant human pick this up maybe? It won't be like game shatteringly powerful, but it's probably where it's best. I don't think you ever pick this up at fourth level. And then you're definitely not taking it higher than that. So, yeah, there's a very small use case for this. I hope the viewers at home have like, I took healer once and it was actually pretty great and useful and we got a lot of healing out of it. And I'll be like, did you spend all your hit dice? All of them? Every single hit dice you spend it? Really? Wow, that's crazy. Because that's what I have. Like, that's where I find like this probably is just a way to not spend hit dice. at its best, and that's not a good reason to take this feat. I don't know. I
Yeah, learn how the hit dice work.
honestly, like, you don't need this, right? Right?
I
Am
can't
I
think
just
of
playing the game
a reason
wrong?
you would. I don't think so. No, I mean, even when you were talking about the fighter field medic, I think you were playing devil's advocate. You were trying to find some kind of use for this, but the reality is that even then, if you are that fighter, you're probably going to want something different.
Okay, hold on. I want to check one thing. So there might be a way to use this as a bonus action. I need to read Thief Rogue real quick. So as a bonus action, you can use an object action. Okay, so here's a world where I don't hate this. You're a rogue, and this qualifies as using an object as the use an object action.
Okay.
And you use this as a bonus action to get somebody up and make an attack roll. That's really powerful. That's very, very good. It's like better than Healing Word, if-ish better than Healing Word. So maybe you're a combat medic rogue. Thief. That could be neat. I don't know if it works rules as written, but that could be neat. But that's it. I don't think there's anything else really beyond that.
That's not an archetype I see anyone wanting to play.
Yeah, normally just
A
take sharpshooter
combat
and kill
medic
shit.
rogue. Yeah.
Like normally you're just like, oh yeah, I'm going super magical arcane trickstery nonsense, or like, super edgelord, mind blades, daggers into your face kind of builds. Not
I am the rogue who patches wounds in the night.
I mean, listen, I'm a sucker for those off kind of builds. I love Thief Rogue a lot because it lets you use things like Alchemist. Well, again, I think with flexible DMs, it lets you use things like Alchemist, Fire, and Acid as bonus actions. So you can play like before the Artificer existed, you could play like an Alchemist kind of cobbled together build. It was really cool. It's really fun. It requires a little bit of DM leniency, but like you're sneak attacking with Acid, and that seems pretty sick. Like you can do a bunch of cool things with your bonus actions. Like the Thief Rogue lends itself to off-brand kind of builds. And like on that character, if I'd already had a 20 dex and I'd already taken any of the like magic initiate feats that I really wanted to make the build come together, then I'd be like, sure, it's fine. And that's on a hyper niche case that I don't see being applicable. So yeah.
All right. Well, ironically, I think we've beat Healer to death.
Yeah.
All right. We weren't doing ratings on feats, were we?
I don't know, we can.
Yeah, all right, let's do it.
I don't think I can give this a 1 because the words are good. The words here, like, it's Goodberry plus a bunch of free cure wounds. I don't think I can rate that a 1. At the same time, I can't put it on a character sheet, so it gets a 1. Like, I don't know any character in the game that will take this. And for that reason, it has to get a 1.
All right, yeah, I'll defer to your wisdom on this one. And I'll agree with your 1. I was actually ready to give it a 1 when you said you couldn't, but oh well.
Here we are.
All right, yeah, healer. All right, well, that was Healer, everyone. Thank you, Sam, and thank you, everyone, for joining us. We will see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it. A gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description, where you'll find my Caverns and Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of the spell, and other fun things.